it's TGIF. Thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday indeed. A pleasant morning to everyone. I'm hoping that everyone is having a wonderful day. Yesterday, we had our half holiday. And so, persons would have taken the opportunity to view the funeral service, the state funeral service of the late Sir Tapley Seaton, the former Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis. Others would have been there in person. And there were persons who would have been perhaps taken that day to do whatever work they had to do, maybe even have a light moment in the afternoon. And so I just want to say again, pleasant morning to everybody, hoping that everyone is doing well. If you're home and you're taking the day off, I hope you enjoy the day. If you are on your way to work, I'm hoping that you have a wonderful day at work. And if you're already there, I'm hoping that it has already started to be a wonderful morning for you. And yesterday, Jamster, as I indicated and as we know.
But did you go to the funeral?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I did.
It was big?
It was a good turnout.
Okay.
It was at the Moravian Church, as you know. They had the procession from Government House, which was televised, from the body leaving from Government House to the church. And after that, we had the walk to the cemetery. And a number of the attorneys, including myself, stayed for the walk. At one point in time, it's a really hot day, a really hot summer. And, when we go to these funerals as attorneys, we wear our jackets, our tabs, our robe. So imagine having to walk that in the heat. And I said I had to walk it, because, to pay tribute. Sometimes I was like, am I going to really reach? Because the heat, you understand, in this slow pace. But all in all, I made it to the cemetery, which I'm very proud of.
I thought lawyers were supposed to be the smartest people. What's up with practicality? Can't you guys come up with a uniform that is more more conducive to our climate?
These are
That's why I couldn't be a lawyer, because I was not going to be wearing.
Actually, when we were talking, a few of us when we were talking, we were saying, maybe it is for funerals and the procession we should consider something else. But that was just a few of us talking, and of course there were some senior lawyers who also were part of the procession who made it to the cemetery as well. We have Mr. Butler, who I'm told is in his 80s, and he walked that. We had also Delano Bat, former Attorney General. Dennis Merchant was a part of that, former Attorney General. Anthony Gonzalez was a part of that. And a number of us took that walk. And so, it was a nice nice send-off,
That's good.
Yeah. And then his sister gave the eulogy and, encapsulate, Tapley in a different light too. You will know him as a professional, but she would have looked at the other areas in his life. And there was the singing by Mr. Jermaine James. I think persons know him. He's
from Jamaica or he's from here?
No, he's from here.
Oh,
he actually went to the Washington Archibald High School, so I know him from there. And, a brilliant rendition, a really, really good rendition. It was a really good rendition. I think it was well received. While he was singing, I was looking at the family and their faces, and you could see them connecting and, feeling that moment. And in fact, the song that he sang, he indicated that Tapley would have heard that song before and really liked it. We had a song, Trumpet, and he had the little trumpets in the playing. It was a really nice send-off. I must say that, we had visiting governor generals from across the region who were there as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I noticed at least two who are presently serving. I think Grenada and I think Antigua and Barbuda. Yeah, if I remember, So it was a nice send-off for Sir Tapley. He would have done so much as a person.
And they all walked up to the cemetery as well?
Well, I think they perhaps drove,
Okay.
Yeah, I think because there were dignitaries who drove as well, in the procession,
Okay.
Yeah. So it was nice. Usually for us attorneys, we would walk, and we would walk with the military. Yeah.
Mm.
So that was something customary for us, you know.
Yeah. Well,
Doing it. I mean, you know, yes. Usually we have a large group, and then we have a subgroup of that who walks. That's what I was going to say, but you know,
yeah.
it was
So,
still
so,
well received.
so y'all had on the wigs too?
Oh no, not the
Okay.
wigs. We leave
Alright.
that for the Bahamians. I think they still put on the wigs.
Okay.
You want to go down there?
No, because I'm just ready to roast y'all.
I could imagine.
With
But-
all the over the top slavish and operative word slavish devotion to British tradition, which has nothing to do with us.
Aren't you one for the
No.
monarch? Before I go further, aren't you one saying that we should keep the monarch as
Me?
yeah? Oh, it wasn't you. Okay.
I would think you would know me by
I
now.
do. I'm teasing you, man. I'm just joking. You know
The,
when.
the royal family are nothing but glorified criminals. That's
Well,
what
I
they
won't.
are.
I won't go as far to say
Oh,
that
really?
as
So
criminal.
how do you think they got there?
But okay.
They're just listen. They're just. Let me tell you the definition I came up with. They are nothing but the defendants of really successful land thieves and warlords from thousands of years ago. That's all they are.
Okay.
And proto-politicians. Let me put it that way. Because what is it? What is a king or a so-called royal person but a proto-politician? Especially when it all started way back.
Yeah. Well, I
The
mean,
precursor of today's politician.
I mean, as it relates to the history of
yeah.
it, I'm using different terminologies, but looking at the history of it, I'm amazed.
I know you live your life on eggshells, so go ahead.
No.
Have at it.
No,
I
I won't
don't- I
say
don't
on
really care.
eggshells, but
The truth must be told.
I will say as well, right, that when you look at the history of it and you realize that, many persons believed the king to be God's representative on earth, and so all power,
anybody's pretty stupid to believe that.
all power resides within the king, and he or she could do no wrong. And then as time progressed, persons began to question things. Persons began to, that authority, the absolute
And
authority,
no
began
time more
to
than now.
wane.
The questioning is enforced. No time more than now. What do you think about it?
But I find it,
Because
interesting, especially with the Sibre issue, as relates. Somebody article that I read said, Saint Lucia could be next, could be, with.
Oh, you mean with the
Dominica
Republic thing?
No, in terms of the
Remember
Dominica now.
banned.
Yeah, remember Dominica now needs visa, and then the article that I was reading, it said that Saint Lucia could be next. They also indicated Saint Nevis, and I said to myself, look at this. We have the head of state, the Governor General, as the representative to the king and queen, and look at this visa thing. But I just go to show when I was making the argument that what are the real benefits to keep it, and persons were saying we need it, and it's just, to me, I think it is better in reality.
You think we need it? Do you think we need it?
No, I think I this is my opinion, and I don't know what the other opinions are, but I would like to see St. Kitts and Nevis as a republic.
Okay.
Okay. That's my opinion. That's mine. I don't know.
Because I
other
always
persons
like
think.
people who said that. I asked him. I said, you're a former rapist and murderer, and maybe someone who stole your stuff. Why would you want to be associated with them afterwards?
So you have all of these hash terms.
No, they're not the hash, but true.
Well,
What could be harsher than the actual reality of slavery and being packed in the hold of a ship for weeks, like sardines? What could be harsher than that? That is not nowhere near as harsh as what I'm saying now. I mean, what I'm saying now is nowhere near as harsh as that.
Yes. So
you have to stop being afraid to speak the truth.
I'm not afraid to
The
speak
inconvenient
the
truth.
I'm not afraid to speak it.
Stop living your life for people.
I'm not living my life for
Easy.
people. Jamsa, I'm not. Well, yesterday we had an interesting.
All I have to do is take me off the radio, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't want the truth to be spoken.
Yesterday we had an interesting discussion as well. We were talking about the minimum wage And I know that was one of the discussion that we say we could have again at a different time. I know persons are here listening. I don't know if persons, we realize that, there has been an increase in the cost of living. That goes without question. We feel it in our pockets. When we go to the supermarkets, we see the rise in certain items that we normally buy. Such I hear the conversation about the rise in price for the cost, the cost of milk. And so
big time.
Even if you look at the sardines, the price have risen.
It's like over $1. Easy.
You sure over $1 for sardines?
No, I mean it's risen by over $1.
Because when the last time I bought one, I remember buying it for $4.50. And I was like, the price is gone up.
There used to be like could have been Euro.
I sure it was
$2.99, $3.25.
Yeah. So the price has really risen. And persons, I remember someone making a Facebook post yesterday saying that someone, they were making a post saying that average 3 hours and I think 10 minutes could buy you a 3-piece KFC meal.
Has that price has changed too? It's not the same?
I don't even know because
I remember one time earlier this year they went to Nevis, right? So I was on my own and I remember driving up to the drive-in and I remember thinking, so the prices? No, that might have been last year. And I remember thinking, the prices hasn't changed much. I said that's kind of surprising. But then I could have been, maybe was remembering the
there was a price increase recently, but I think last year.
Okay, so I could have gone before because it seemed I was kind of pleasantly surprised that the price hadn't gone up more, knowing that pretty much everything else had gone up. Yeah,
last year I think around maybe the ending of the year, maybe September, August, running that kind of time. I think it went up, but it hasn't gone up since. Still within price. But the person made that connection.
But Dwyer was breaking it down like CJ, man. I have to give him some props. The way he was making the and I haven't listened to the whole thing yet.
Yes,
I just sent it to you, by the way. I had forgotten to send it.
No problem.
I think Wednesday when he sent it.
Okay then.
But he was breaking it up. CJ will use these relatable number, you could say number thought experiments, something like that, to make the point. So I thought he broke it down good, and that's just the bit I heard. So I have to go and listen to the whole thing.
Okay.
And you remember I mentioned earlier this week that because of Ukraine attacking the Kerch Strait Bridge. The minute I heard that happen, I said, "Oh boy, here we go with the commodity prices, like the grains and so on that we get out of Ukraine." Because when I told you a lot of the seeds for oils come out of Ukraine. They grow sunflower seeds. That's what the yellow on the flag represents. They're one of the largest producers of sunflower seeds, where we get sunflower oil. The canola oils, they grow flaxseed as well. That's where we get canola oil from. They grow oatmeal, they grow wheat, which is where we expect a lot of the price hikes are going to happen, because because of them attacking the bridge, Russia has said that they will not allow. They were going to end. There was a provision made for the wheat to be shipped out of Ukraine via the Black Sea route. And apparently, I think it was a day that they would have had to renew, if they were going to renew, is when they hit the bridge. So Russia decided that no, we're not going to renew it. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens if they're going to have, like, someone was suggesting doing. I don't know if you know your World War II history. You know about the Berlin.
Of course, Jamster.
The thing where they had to fly people. So someone was suggesting they might have to do something like that and escort the ships out of the Black Sea and basically dare the Russians to attack the ships. So so food prices are probably due for some more hikes. So we have to give the government some props for let's say being proactive, and maybe you could say helping to offset maybe some further upcoming hikes by reducing the gasoline tax.
Well,
So we have to give them some props
yeah.
where it's due, right?
yeah. I mean, they had promised us, if we're being devil's advocate, that it would be at $12.
Yeah, but I mean, they
Mhm.
could say what they like when they're not in government. When you go in
Mhm.
and you're
Mhm.
confronted with the how the sausage is made.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, I understand it, but at the same time, I think that, as as I think when you campaigning and you making certain promises, you should try as much as to keep those promises. I mean, you probably won't keep all of them, but at least the majority of them. Yeah, because then you run the risk of just promising for promising's sake and then saying, well, we weren't there yet. Then why did you even, allude that you could to the fact that you could do these things? So
Yeah, but y'all do it. You'll probably do the same thing too.
who's y'all?
Y'all
I have never
politicians,
ran. I have never ran in an election. I've never ran.
y'all run
So
y'all
I don't
mouths.
know. I don't know what you mean.
I mean, listen.
Y'all. You mean others have done it? That's what you're trying to say?
Listen,
Others have done it.
the present government, they're mostly a bunch
Mhm.
of rookies, and they were running their mouths about what they were gonna do, not really knowing, like I said, how the sausage is made. And now they're understanding how the sausage is made, and as much as maybe they shouldn't have run their mouths, I think people need to be a little reasonable, because when you are confronted with the reality of the situation and the real politic and the way you run a country, you realize, boy, maybe I shouldn't have been so rash in saying in making some of those promises, because this is not as easy as it looks. It's not as easy as I thought. All of them do it. You're gonna do it too. Okay, you haven't done it yet, but you're gonna do it too.
I don't think that if in the position, I would try my best not to do so. I try to be very careful in the things that I promise, even at this point in time.
Yeah, because I think it's best to under promise and over deliver.
I actually think so too.
And be cautious. You know,
Yeah.
you make cautious. I mean,
if it is that, like to say, if it is that you made a promise and you realize that, boy, I can't keep this promise, it's good to at least be upfront and say, you know what, I told you that,
because
this and this, but this is the situation now, and that is
you remember a caller this week. I think
Mhm.
a caller calling, and I was saying, I think I said to something. He said that I think that the politicians don't give the public enough credit for being understanding. A lot of the times, if they would just come and if there needs to be a reversal on something or a walk back,
It just needs communication.
yes, you just come and tell us and explain. I said, listen, sometimes politicians say rash things
Mm-hmm.
and in making promises and trying to get into power to help you. And when we're confronted with reality, some things just are not practical, or, well, we can't do it now, or whatever the case may be. Just break it down, be humble, and I think people would,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of few people would think. We have a caller. Caller, go right ahead. You are our first TGIF caller. No prize, though.
Oh, yes, good morning.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Trevor, how are you?
Hey, I'm okay. How you doing?
Yeah, could do well with some tea this morning.
He has coffee.
No, tea.
Oh, you have,
I
you
leave the
have tea?
coffee alone. Next
Yeah.
time I get the shakes.
Moringa green tea.
Oh, you have
Yeah.
moringa green tea. Okay,
Mhm.
okay. You
Now,
you
please.
fancy?
Azard,
Yes.
I'm going to get you all across the road here. Leave the coffee alone.
Yes.
Coffee is good for
Right.
Mm-hmm. How
It's
you
the,
doing?
it's the white people give you the coffee, you know.
Mm-hmm.
European.
But strangely enough, as Jamsa say, it has some research out there that has benefits to coffee.
you. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, some.
Lots.
Everything got benefit,
Yeah.
even the moringa. You may have too much. We used to feed our sheep with it. We had a big tree in our yard.
Oh.
And all of a sudden I hear about this thing tree. I went to see, I said, you see my mother grew up with a tree in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
We had a big old tree there. Anyway,
Yes.
I don't know if you heard that India has banned the export of basmati rice.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't heard that yet.
They're looking at the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Russians are not going to allow the ships to pass,
Mm-hmm.
then they got to protect themselves.
Yeah.
And
Talking about the price of things going up.
yeah.
Indeed.
But the Russians say, look, well, if you want me to let the rice, then take off some of the sanctions you put on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they could have looked to the whole list of sanctions and take off some. And the leader for Ukraine look like he want World War III.
Why do you say that?
He is asking to go into the NATO. NATO says if you attack one, you attack all. It means, therefore, if we get into NATO, the whole of Europe got to go and fight for them. America and other countries who are part of NATO. You didn't see it, sir?
Yeah,
think about it again.
But I think it's a strategic request, though. Meaning, I think he knows they're going to say no, but I think he knows that.
And he acting so disappointed. They want to say this man had good.
Yeah, I think he had this discussion was already had where he wanted to be a part, and I don't think that it was allowed.
No, nobody can entertain that because the truth is, NATO says an attack on one is an attack on the other.
Yes.
So everybody gonna have to go and fight Russia, and Russia not gonna sit down there and take it. Everybody gonna go and brush off the nuclear thing, you know.
Yeah. You sound as though you think Russia is some kind of innocent actor here. They're the one who started the war.
Well, you know, it's strange enough.
But you know how war go. War don't care who started.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned about it, who will win it.
I then said I had a conversation with someone who was actually, I think, in perhaps Ukraine at the time, and when you listen to the views of that individual, you would see him as though they would say, you know, Ukraine isn't all that innocent. And that's what I'm saying. Depending on who tells the story, you're able to get a different twist.
You ever listen to the Pentagon report? I said, very well, they have an interest. Anybody who have an interest on any side will twist and create the story for their benefit.
Yeah, but we can't all act that all actors are equal. They're not.
That's what I mean. So when I hear the different, this one reporting and that one reporting, then you ask, who is telling the truth?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this thing with the price. Stop me when you're ready. I heard Dwyer and I heard the Prime Minister.
Mm-hmm.
And if he take off some of the thing, keep the price on maybe the importation of the containers.
Yeah, go ahead.
Then the price of the goods should go down. You know, I did some work.
Wait, explain that again.
Remember, when they calculate, it is cost, insurance, freight. That's what they call CIF.
Yes.
That is the landed cost.
Yeah.
If the landing cost is reduced, therefore, the goods should be cheaper.
Yeah, but I guess maybe...
Because all you're going to add on to the duty, then they waive some duty, so more come off. Then they go and they reduce the tax. And the way, you see what I'm talking about?
But then I guess maybe they figure the Port Authority needs to make money because they have an airport to upgrade, they have a seaport to maintain, they have, you know, so...
Yeah. So I'm saying there should be some reduction because I'm saying that, I keep saying we cannot negotiate, you know. Caribbean countries can't negotiate. Maybe Myanmar is trying to. We cannot negotiate. Everybody could play hardball. You take everything off the gas. That is tax that governments lose. Is there another way of recuperating some? No. So I am here looking at things. And the Dominica story.
Mm-hmm.
What happened is that the people who get the citizenship passports turn up in other people's country, just like how the Cameroonians here. And they want to apply for, what you call it again? They want to stay. So, whereas they could come in within 6 months and go back out. They're staying and applying.
And this is in St. Kitts you're talking about? Or this is
it's a Dominican Honduras.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I only hope that our citizenship investment office start to warn our people. I mean, their people, people, our people.
Have to be very careful.
Because that's what happened in Canada,
we don't want to be in that situation at all.
Well, in Canada, they say sometimes 300 Chinese turn up in one block.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That is why they think it.
Do you know
everybody shooting down.
You know that
you got to tell them they flock into these countries. Well, now they want. Everybody wants to run, eh?
But the funny thing is, you know, it seems as though for some reason we like to call each other racist when we take proactive measures to tamp down this. You know that the Canadians have they've instituted real estate laws, especially over in Vancouver side, British Columbia, because of the influx of Chinese. It has driven real estate prices to levels that even Canadians can't afford it. Most Canadians can't afford it, and they had to.
But that would cause resentment, no matter if it was the Africans.
Exactly.
If you find somebody coming and outpricing you, actually make you homeless, there will be.
Exactly. So they're now where Asians cannot they cannot buy.
You hear they were going into Canada by the hundreds without a passport.
There you go.
So I hope that they're doing some tracking. Otherwise, we shall be in the same thing.
Well, and I wonder, I don't know if AZ heard this story about earlier this week where Gaston Brown was saying that they're going to be continuing with the next iteration of the the flights from
Antigua Airlines.
Yeah, the flights.
Yeah, he himself.
So I was like,
he's not going to allow anybody. What he called them? I forget what he called them.
Yeah, I forgot.
Opportunistic.
Yes.
No Cameroonians. No somebody else.
Yeah.
Maybe those countries that have conflict.
Oh yeah.
I saw me when someone alluded to the fact, okay, then part two of, you know.
Yeah, but what can go wrong this time that he didn't think of?
But the thing about them, you know, if he's a king, why don't take back these you got here?
Exactly.
They belong to him, you know.
Exactly. If well, you know, I call him gangster, eh? So
and we are the other 600.
Mm-hmm.
Are they still in Antigua? Because I suspect they're not there.
Yeah,
can the economy absorb nearly 700 people?
You mean Antigua? I should ask you. You're the economist.
I don't mean land space, no. I mean economically.
Well, that's why I'm saying. That's why I should ask you the question. I'm turning.
No, I'm supposed to ask until I have the data.
Yeah, I like your
approach. I have to check it out.
Yes.
And for Mr. Warner, Dr. Warner, was on yesterday.
Yes.
You were asking, how do we know what percentage of people are below the thing line? That information is available at the planning unit. They now have information, statistics.kn, I think. They have tables on the internet. I asked about them because I used to prepare them. Something called statistical review. I think it's in section. So in the section with employment, tables that we get from the Social Security, which has the wage range, the number of people in that range. So if he or you all were to go on to statistics.kn, you should see tables, look for the employment. Or they should also be on Social Security statistics website. So the information is available because I recall one time making a presentation and I did my stats and maths. So you have an idea as to how many. Now what may complicate it is if they don't put in the self-employed. Because most of those self-employed are underreporting. Because they're given the choice to choose what they want to pay. Whereas the other people, you know, they're actually receiving this amount. And so they'll fall in the bracket. So they're going to have to lump all the self-employed with those below 3,000, which is 36,000 per year. So when you get the time, Mr. Warner, the information is there, you know. Some of the things he was saying I don't agree with, but he's an accountant, you see. And he knows, I've expressed already to him, I do not trust accountants. I have worked on company's account, and while they say it is...
How can you cast aspersions on his dispassionate analyses?
Look, let me tell you something.
My friend's dispassionate...
I have worked on a number of accounts. Let me tell you, I don't care. I have worked on a number of accounts. And they talk about the wages, on top of the hell of a wages, they get some lot of bonuses, you know. You hear me? And then the work, I had to ask one time, how come the expenses increase so? And the workers ain't even getting them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So we're just to ask, where were some of the, I mean, he said a lot of things. So where were some of the things you disagreed on? What were some of the things you disagreed on?
The idea that you can't tell nobody, and while I'm at it, you lawyers overdo it. Now to ask a lawyer a question. $125. I went university too. I had to talk for free. I think it's extortionate. Sometimes you need no consequence, but they just want to ask you. Before you ask, you got to pay. Then you go in and then you got to pay. All of us in the same boat. All of us when you I think it's unfair. You all should have it should vary according to the person's income.
But I mean,
So you all can answer a question for free.
If you go to a doctor, for an appointment, wouldn't
That's why you start going clinic.
Wouldn't you have to pay the consultation?
No. Now you go to the doctor and when he done look after you, whatever, he tells you how much it is.
Mm-hmm.
Whether 100 and whatever.
But
he don't say 100 before you start.
But wouldn't you want to know the value before you even start? Wouldn't that be better? So you could at least gauge yourself in your pocket.
This doctor is $80.
Mm-hmm.
One is 100, one is 120. Mm-hmm. You know, that includes the treatment.
Yeah, but you know, if that happens, what's going to happen is that you're going to have doctors who only want to serve.
But that's how doctor is. He knows that. You know that too.
Yeah.
Doctor don't say before you open your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And when they finish, give you a next bill.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about me in a lot of these with these high charges, they went on government scholarships. So let me rent.
You mean lawyers? Lawyers.
Yes.
I could say this.
Lawyers and doctors.
Lawyers for sure. There were very few. I don't know if there are scholarships now for law, but
I mean, they went on development bank money.
Well, development bank that you had to pay back, that you still have to pay back. And
everybody
at the time,
had to pay back.
Yeah, but
I mean,
when you go and you study law,
you are unreasonable.
when I talk about it, because I've been through it. When you go back and you have to pay the development bank the 9%, and you had to be out there for 5 years. Because usually, for the other degrees it's 3, but for law you have to do the LLB and then you have to go to the law school. So that's 5 years outside of the state, paying rent. You're doing a lot of things.
I understand all of that, but
and then
the
tuition.
You go and you spend your 4 years or whatever and you come back.
Mm-hmm.
Or you do your master's. My daughter has a master's.
Mm-hmm.
She has a first degree in marine biology, zoology, second one in natural resource management, a master's.
Mm-hmm.
Come back, I can't get to work. And then the bank is in collusion. But she came back the first time.
Mm-hmm.
They gave her 3 months to start to pay.
Yeah.
And you ain't getting a job yet,
Mm-hmm.
They increased interest payment.
Yeah.
So this whole thing is screwed up. I still believe going back to the lawyers. You are unreasonable.
I mean, there are fees that lawyers have to pay annually to practice, and there are certain things that we have to do.
Maybe you should put out the schedule of fees.
But there is
maybe people like me could understand.
There is a schedule of fees that is, regulated by the Bar Association, and the last one was in 2019.
So do you think economists are fairly paid?
Well, I don't know the payment for economists, to be honest.
Look in the government book. Unless you get into the ECCB, you're giving away your time.
But even
anyway,
so, even if you look at lawyers though, if you look at lawyers in the government scale too, I mean, they are paid within a scale as well. So.
And if it's less than what you get in the private sector?
Well, it all depends. Well, private sector, you could always make as much as business comes in.
Make as little as you can.
Yes. So it's really.
All right, but I still feel y'all. It doesn't change my mind. Y'all introduction fees, whatever you call it, could be a little low. The last one is something that this morning my phone rang, my landline phone, and I missed it because I was in another room. When I pick it up and I dial *69, the thing telling me I don't have enough money. I purchased a plan, a fixed plan years ago.
Yes.
So I hope, by name Lime,
Flo?
they'll Lime now again, you know.
Ain't Flo now. It's Flo now, right?
It can't run out because I bought the plan. That's the plan I pay under. I pay a fixed price. It's called All Talk.
Oh, the All Talk, yes. Yes.
That's way back I bought it.
Yes.
You know, and I pay $5 to buy mobile call and international calls. And when nobody run up my bill. Sometimes they take off, they block you, and you're paying every month. So I was more surprised. So if Cable and Wireless listening, I am blind, B-L-I-N-D. I am not playing blind, not because you're my mouth, can't see.
Oh, gosh.
So I even not pick up the phone, I won't be able to see who call me. Could you please reinstall the star 69 that I signed for and pay for? It would help me a great deal. I will be able to check to see who called me and use the features to call back.
Yeah.
So I'm even begging. I'm paying for it.
Miss Henry,
Anyway, everybody have a good day.
Yes,
you too.
But,
you know,
she just
And I
illustrated.
apologize to all those
No
who
problem.
complain.
But I just think you just illustrated how even when we try to be circumspect and try to see things from from every angle, it never occurred to me. She had mentioned it early in the week, right? And it never occurred to me that the blindness would be an issue.
Yeah.
The star 69 and the bell just the light
true.
just the light. I said, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
But
Because she's blind, so she can't look and see.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So that's a good point. So I hope someone at Floor is listening.
And I mean, at the same time, you seem to be in such good spirits. So I want to say, that's commendable. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna take the call and we come back and take some calls about the minimum wage, but we have some callers here. Okay, caller, go right ahead quickly.
Yes. Pleasant good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, what's up?
Good morning.
And good morning, my villager, my sister Henry.
Yes.
I call to support you 200 and all the percent in the world with this telephone problem. I spoke about it last week on the same radio station. I think it was Friday. I spoke about it on King Sakuti show.
Oh, so maybe it was you. Maybe it was you, not Miss Henry. Okay. And somebody mentioned something similar before.
Yeah.
About
Flo,
this.
not living up to the name Flo. Because all the years we are able to use star 69 to see who called while we were away. Only to find our bill was paid Wednesday last week. We ain't owe them nothing. And by Thursday, I take up the phone, press star 69 to see who it was calling. They're going to say, sorry, you do not have enough money on your account for this call. I said, what stupidness are you telling me? If I are taping me and listening, I'm going on the radio with all your name. Because I am ripping off people. Ripping off people already. When people pay the bill, and they go, I still got the bill what they pay. Add up with the present one. So if the person ain't got the receipt and keep the head on, I rip them off continuously. And I tell them plain out. They're only doing these things here because we do not have another landline company in St. Kitts. That's why they're doing it. So Miss Henry is correct. And another friend of mine called me and tell me the same thing. I called a regular call up on radio talk show too. I said, well, brother, me ain't gonna wait until the sunset to voice my opinion. I'm gonna talk. Let everybody know what's going on. They're doing stupidness to people. So, Miss Henry, I support you. All the support in the world. You're correct. They think it's only everybody else got cell phone. Whether you got cell phone, yes or not, that is the reason why that is in the design of the phone. You pay for all of them there. Why did you take out that? What's wrong with these people here? They need competition in this country. Just look how all of them people who sell in shop and supermarket, they cap the price for milk. That ain't supposed to happen. Because they see, well then, milk selling fast. Because all who got cattle in St. Kitts and the cattle got calf, they should be able to get milk from the calf, but they're not doing it. So there is only one kind of milk people could drink. They could afford to buy that. The carnation milk on the shelf with the rose on it. They ain't even selling the pet milk or the triangle milk or the Dutch lady milk with the cattle and the woman there. So they're killing people. As soon as you go in and you buy something and you come out and you go home and you go back, so you forget something, price gone up again. Mm-hmm. Something wrong in this place, man. And when people continue to disrespect people's rights and take advantage, they're going to plunge back like a gong lizard or a dog. Anyhow, we run in a gong lizard and you jump up to a wall and they can't run away, you fly back on you. People ain't going to take all this nonsense too long.
Come on now, what did the ground lizards do to you? Come on. What did the ground lizards do to you?
I can't hear you.
I said, what did the ground lizards do to you? Leave them alone.
Oh, I'm going to tell you something. Ground lizard, they're more vicious than a tree lizard. Run a ground lizard, chase a ground lizard, and he's running from you, and he reach to a wall where he cannot go no further. You're going to turn on and plunge on you, you know. I experienced that. Mm-hmm. So I don't trouble them long time. I stop troubling them when I see them.
I don't see them.
The tree lizard going to run, climb, go right up.
They're around still, I don't see them.
Eh?
When I was a kid, there was a lot of them, and they used to be big, but you don't see them now.
Well, you know, brother, I don't want they stop make the ground lizard seed, because everything that we used to get original, they die out. And who ain't die out, they do not have the aroma. Look what we are accustomed to in small. Look at onion. You could get your face right down over onion and you're cutting it up, you oil them won't even spring water. and the time you cannot smell them. The herbs you cannot smell them. All kind of thing they change up. All because they want people to continue come back and buy and buy and buy and buy. They don't want when you buy some seeds and you plant them and they produce, you're able to plant again. No, you can't do that. You must go back in the store and buy. Anyway, let me move. Let somebody else get in.
Okay, we're gonna take a break.
Yeah, we're gonna take a break.
And come back. Now, AZ, we're gonna what we're gonna do? It turns out we're not gonna have no fireproof today because Tim PC forgot that he had a clash. So we could probably use that time to open the phone lines about minimum wage. It would be nice to get people to weigh in on that. Yeah. So folks, now you know there's no fireproof this morning. So 9:30 or thereabouts, you can weigh in. We're gonna open the phone lines and we're gonna discuss the minimum wage. What do you think the minimum wage should be? But let's take a quick break and come back. We'll take your calls on any topic, and we'll also discuss some other things in the news right after this.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Antigua Carnival 2023, the Caribbean's greatest summer festival. Join us from July 27th to August 8th for 13 days of pure music, mass, and creativity. Get ready for the iron and the brass, the soca and the sun, the sand and the sea, all in one. Antigua Carnival, where the magic happens. Be there July 27th to August 8th. Antigua Carnival is calling.
Get ready for the biggest sales event of the year. It's the Horswood Furniture and Appliances major sales event where we're slashing prices by 20% off on all major appliances. Are you looking for amazing deals on refrigerators, stoves, large appliances, washing machines, and even microwaves? Well, look no further. From the latest models to top brands, Horswood Furniture and Appliances has it all at unbeatable prices. Whether you're upgrading your kitchen or replacing old appliances, this is the perfect opportunity to get major savings and save big. These deals won't last forever. This is a limited time opportunity to snag the appliance of your dreams at 20% off and get double cashback coupons with every purchase. Don't miss out. The Horswood Furniture and Appliances major appliances sales event where quality meets affordability. Don't miss out on the biggest discounts on refrigerators, stoves, large appliances, washing machines, and microwaves. Hurry in today and make your home a major delight. Major savings, Major discounts, 20% off on major appliances, plus double cash back for free groceries. Happening now at Horsewood Furniture and Appliances. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Enjoy the convenience of getting all your documents in one place. At the TDC Copy and Print Center on 4th Street in Basse-Terre, we do just that. We offer document formatting, graphic design, and copy and print services. Our team of professionals truly understand all your needs, whether it be administrative, professional, academic, or personal. You bring it, we deliver it with quality every time. Visit the TDC Copy and Print Center today in the TDC Mall on 4th Street in Basse-Terre or call 465-2511. Your copy and print specialists are waiting to serve you.
And we are back on Island Tea.
Yeah.
Me and AZ, we're just having an interesting conversation during the commercial break. It's 10 minutes until 9 o'clock. Let's go straight to the phone line.
Let's see what's up.
Caller, go right ahead.
Good morning.
Greetings, IT.
Hey, what's up?
Greetings. How are you doing?
I'm very once you're well, and I'm glad you survived yesterday. You know, sir.
Thank you.
Below to see the walk put behind funeral procession, you know.
Yeah. You saw him walk. You saw him laboring his way up to the cemetery.
Driving.
Oh, he drove?
No, I walked. There were others who drove.
Me see you, me look brand new.
Yeah, I was walking. Eli, I must be honest, there were several times that I crossed my mind, could I make it up? You know, we were just in these uniforms. And then the
yes,
heat.
and I told you about it's all about perseverance.
Yes. Yes, it is.
No, but watch it. You had to do it, you know, so you make sure you do it.
Yes, of course, you know.
Yes.
Yes.
That is called willpower.
Yes.
And we also want to bless up the close ones to the family, Uncle Keys and the family.
Yes, definitely.
They walk behind, see them where we love to see that. We love that.
Yeah, isn't nice? It gives us soothing.
Some of the drive, you know.
Yeah.
Some of the drive, but you see the walk foot?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right there.
It gives this soothing togetherness kind of feeling, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially when you have the
fun feeling.
Yes, especially when you have the military in front and, you know, or the officers, you know.
I love to go right behind the coffin. Wherever I carry the coffin, I want to go right behind them. I want to be behind the person who we are buried. Right there, so. I'm not going in front of them. When they reach the cemetery, me just stand up until the coffin come out and I walk behind. See them, I feel good doing that.
Yes,
it's different.
Yeah,
all right. We want to extend more condolences to the families, you know? That is not a pleasant thing at all. As a matter of fact, we in the midst of putting together some spoken words to share at Uncle Nick gathering, you know? Yeah. And so we have that in the head, the death thing, and may I tell you, that is very unpleasant.
It is.
So unpleasant that the human have to learn how to conquer death. We hear them say, all of us have to death, but we don't know that. No. We were created in the similitude as the Creator, and the Creator is immortal. The Creator dwells within immortality. Yes. And we need to reach there. We need to reach there. It is written. The wages of sin is death, the gift of God is eternal life, and that's what it means. And I don't understand this Christendom world saying you have to get the wages to achieve the gift. Foolishness. No, the wages, if you dash it away and embrace the gift, tenaciously embrace the gift. All right, we'll come out for that. It seems like the onus is on government administration to either take away tax or low tax so that we can say to them who sell, lower that cost of that item. Yeah. The onus is on the administration that is in power to remove the tax them, whatever tax to do with food especially, and lower them so that we can go there in terms of prices to suit people's pockets. Yeah. And tying that liquid with the minimum wage, tying the cost of living with the minimum wage. Yeah? I mean, we don't even like to call it minimum wage, you know. We like to call it hand-to-mouth wage.
Hand-to-mouth.
Yeah. Hand-to-mouth wage. That's what it is.
Preach.
And if you notice, this minimum wage, it is connected with the masses of the people. We were trying to get a percentage of people, that information is out as yet. Did you all get that information? The percentage of people who are connected with the minimum wage. Did we get that?
Well, I think the best social services, I think, would be the relevant department for that. I think when we had an interview with the PS and the junior minister, I think I would have maybe asked for that. I don't know if they have the statistics or if they're still working on it, but I think that might be the relevant department. I think that might be the relevant department.
Okay, it would be good if we know that, you know. Then listen, culture a while ago, you know. See, price, and you talk about milk. And I want to tell you, culture, and I want to tell everybody else this, Some of them items will kill us faster than the cost of living. Because as big people, we can leave out milk. We can leave out milk out of the kitchen. And if we do want to get a little milk, we have nuts. We have nuts, that includes coconut. We have nuts and we have other things that we can get milk from. Instead of something there. Yeah? Big people don't want milk in the body. You intake milk up to a certain age and then you're done. What am I running this milk? Anytime we reach to the point of consciousness in our intake, them think they will get a beating. It's either they bring it down low for who will use it, or they stop make them, we stop import them. The human body don't need milk at a certain time. After you don't suck your mother breast and blah blah, but what you want with milk, everything milk. These things just accumulating mucus and inflammation in people's body, causing more diseases than anything else. Sure. We have to reach to a point where we stop using the teeth to dig the grave. And then these things have cost. And we are killing they got us in a terrible jam, man. Sure. We need to come out of it. Okay. All right,
okay, great.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you for your contribution.
Okay, so we have 3 minutes until 9 o'clock. We have Inspector Bergen coming up next. He's going to be telling us about, at 9 o'clock, he's going to be telling us about the summer, the kind of anti-crime summer football camp that they're doing.
Yes.
And apparently they've had more sign-ups than they expected. So
that's
they're
good.
going to be they're going to be coming back after the commercial break at 9. Let's take another call. Caller, Island T, you're on.
Good morning, Jamster.
Hi, what's up?
Good morning. I'm cool. Good morning, other host.
Good morning.
I think that the word you said we were trying to find is supposed to be what? Pro bono, where the lawyers will work for free, and at the outcome depends on whatever might come back to you. I'm not sure we have that in St. Kitts.
Yeah, I was about to. Actually, I was planning to ask AZ if he does that.
There's some lawyers who would do work for, pro bono.
And what he said with the pro bono is it will work out to be, it will be intended for the public good and for people who cannot afford those costs.
But also
because a lot of times when you throw in something, it is designed to help those who cannot financially help themselves.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it will reflect on the whole public. Now, when you go pro bono and you do something for free, eventually you're going to end up having somebody who could afford to pay, because in those areas, when you practice something, you will be sharpening your skills as an attorney. And every case you learn something new. You should learn something new. And if you haven't learned something new, you got to be aware of that.
Definitely. As lawyers, we aren't perfect, and of course, it's always a learning experience. There is the legal aid as well, let me say, which provides services to individuals who may not be able to afford services offered by an attorney. If it is,
the other thing that I want to look at is the minimum wage also. The minimum wage.
Caller, here's what we do. We don't have fireproof this morning. We're gonna discuss that maybe from about 9:30 or so, maybe even 9:50.
Yeah, because we have a short interview. Probably won't take that long.
And so I want to go to the commercial break, and we speak to John Berger.
Call us back, please. Yes,
because that's on our agenda for this morning. So
okay,
thank you.
Okay, all right. Okay, so let's go to the break now. I'm doing my gymming over here with the. So
you should have on your watch to see how much calories you burn.
I'm telling you. I need to get a. I've been thinking of buying a cheap Android smartwatch. I can't afford a.
This is the.
What's that?
This is the iPhone.
That's the Apple Watch.
Yeah,
really?
this is the Apple Watch. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the break and come back.
The biggest party in sport is back for 2023. And the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots will need your support at Warner Park. CPL will be bigger, better and louder than ever before. And this year, the Patriots are ready to bounce back and claim the title once again. The games are between the 23rd and 27th of August. Get your tickets now at cplt20.com. Join the party. Experience cricket played louder.
Riddle this, riddle that. Horseman's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store is again giving away hundreds of thousands of dollars in cashback for free groceries with every hire purchase. Will be given back this coupon season. Happening now. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in cashback coupon to all our hire purchase customers this coupon season. Starting now until December 2023. You get absolutely free groceries with every hire purchase at our Horseman's Furniture and Appliances stores on St. Kitts Nevis and our Ashley Home Store on St. Kitts. So riddle this. Where can you get quality furniture and appliances at great prices with a flexible FlexPlay plan and with absolutely free groceries with every hire purchase? Riddle that. Cashback at Horseman's Furniture and Appliances on St. Kitts Nevis and our Ashley Home Store on St. Kitts. Riddle this, riddle that. Horseman's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store is giving you over $250,000 in cashback and a chance to win free groceries for a year. Riddle that cashback. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Good morning to everybody. We are back and we have some guests here in studio. We are discussing about us. We are going to have a discussion about a summer camp. I have with me here Inspector Bergen and a number of other individuals. I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves at this time in time. Starting with the inspector.
Hi, good morning, Azard,
Yes.
Gumbs and Jamster in the back room. Good morning, St. Kitts and Nevis, and those of us in the diaspora. Thanks to WINNFM for having us here this morning. My name is Inspector John Bergen, and I'm the event coordinator for this year's Police Crime Intervention Soccer Summer Camp.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I see you have two other gentlemen here with us. Could you introduce yourself? Let us know who you are and who we are.
With me first.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So my name is, good morning, St. Kitts and Nevis. Good morning to those listening to the station around the world. And good morning to you, Mr. Gumbs, and to your Jamster in the back there.
Yes.
So my name is Beresford Mack. I have a voluntary organization, which is a non-profit with my business partner. And it's called the Reach One, Teach One, Building Bridges to Success. And we do sports camps. So we've been coming to St. Kitts since 2005, doing a basketball camp. And so this is the first year we're now teaming up with Inspector Bergen and his team, the Security Forces United FC, doing a soccer camp. So that's my background at the moment.
Okay, good. You've been here a number of times.
Absolutely.
Way back to 2005.
Even beyond that, too. So I used to come to St. Kitts when I was young. I do have family here, which I ran into.
Yes.
I went to visit yesterday, and I used to play basketball. I even met up with Ghost last night, the former minister of sports.
Yes.
And we were just reminiscing about our days playing basketball and who was the better one in the post.
Who was the better one?
I'll give Ghost that. Ghost had it.
He had it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Yes.
Right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, guys in the studio. Good morning, St. Kitts. Good morning, St. Kitts. My name is Nicholas Goddard. I go by Coach G. I am the head coach for the soccer camp. I am currently based in the US, but I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. Lived in Canada for a bit, played professionally there, played professionally in Trinidad and Tobago. Currently hold a National B license out of the Canadian Soccer Association. So that's my background relative to the experience I'm bringing to the table to try to improve or help the product that the security forces is trying to put on.
Oh, awesome. So we have a wealth of experience here in the studio, a wealth of experience that would be assisting in the camp that is going to be organized by the police force. So Inspector Bergen, could you tell us of the number of persons who have already registered to be a part of it?
Wonderful. Thank you, Azard, for the question. The Security Forces United FC is a club here in the St. Kitts and Nevis Football Association. We play in the Premier Division, but we have a youth arm of our program. We have partnered with the Seventh-day Adventist Primary School as mandated by FIFA, and of course the SKNFA is a part of FIFA. We have to, all the clubs in St. Kitts and Nevis must have a youth arm. And so since we don't come out of a community like Old Road, like Care, and like Village, Newtown, we had to reach out to a private school. And we have been working with these youngsters for the last 5 years.
And how has it been working with them?
It has been a tremendous success. We have worked with some of our bigger families in St. Kitts and Nevis, persons of high status in society. Their children have come through our program. We have graduated over 50 youths over the last 5 years, from under 13 to under 15s, and hopefully next year we're going to be seeing our first under 17 youths. So we are growing in time, and we have an after-school program every week. As long as it's school, we have an after-school program where we engage these youths every Wednesday and Thursday afternoon at Flow Ground. That is our training facility, and we have seen tremendous success. We are hoping to get a youth female team as well next year, God's willing.
With the same school?
Out of the same program, yes. Because persons are now realizing that we have a program that is safe, it's in a safe environment, and it's the police, and they're getting on board. So we have students coming from all the other private schools, Sky Academy, Factory School, Mauricelia. And so we don't turn back children. We don't turn them back, and so we are growing. Presently, we have about 70 of these youths in our own program. So I'll now go to the camp.
Yes.
The camp came as a result of me coming into contact with a gentleman. His name is Isaac Newton. He should have been here. Who would have opened up his networking space to me through his the Douglas Global Life Foundation. And he would have introduced me to Beresford, who would have opened up his his networking space as well. And so we got Coach G, we got some other coaches from over in England and in the United States who decided to partner with us this year in having the inaugural soccer crime intervention program.
Wonderful.
The camp kicked off Monday.
Oh, it's already started?
It started,
oh,
yes.
Wow.
It's going to be a 2-week camp. It started on Monday 17th. It's going to finish next Friday. And we kicked off with 123 children. The last couple of days we have seen increases. On Tuesday we had 142. Yesterday we had 155, and we expect yesterday we're going to be seeing more and more children coming out as the days go by. Tomorrow we are hoping to go to Nevis to engage Nevis as well, because we don't want Nevis to be left out. I want to commend my team. I want to commend Coach G, the head coach for the camp, and his assistants in ensuring that every day is fun, it's educational, and it's bringing the kids them, and the children are excited about this camp.
It sounds like a really good camp, and I mean, I'm thinking here that maybe, if not for next year, the expansion perhaps needs to be now. I know you had certain preparations for the 2 weeks, but it seemed like, the kids are really, really into it, and I know.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Coach, you will tell you more.
Yes.
Will tell you more.
No, I mean, as Inspector Bergen just said, Dr. Isaac Newton, he's an advisor to Dr. Denzel Douglas. He sits on the advisory board of his Global Lifestyle Foundation.
Okay.
Dr. Newton and I have worked professionally in other spaces, and he knows that, we do the camps in St. Kitts. We're running one similarly in Montserrat at this time, which ends today, but it's basketball. So when he called me, he said, listen, I'm in the office right now with Inspector Bergen, and I am going to introduce you to him. Here's what's going on, and I really need your help on this. And I was like, okay, fine, no problems. This is what we need to get done. I will open up my space for reaching out to the coaches. And I always say this: God works in His own timing, because I had a meeting with Coach G's brother, who's also a basketball coach and a recruiter, and we were talking about basketball and all of that. So when the soccer situation came up, we had just finished our meeting, and then I had this call, and I was like, oh goodness, now I got to shift from basketball to soccer. So I called him, and he says, okay, cool, here's where we go. I'll put you in contact with my brother, who has the license recruiting, access to schools, colleges in the U.S. and professionally. And I was like, okay, my work's done.
Yeah.
And we got on the call, a conference call. We chopped it up, and here we are. We found the coaches. We should have had 2 extra coaches, but due to unforeseen circumstances, they had to pull out at the last minute. They had to drop out, at the last minute. But the coaches that we have here are absolutely fantastic. Coach G, and he brings a wealth of experience. We have also Coach John Lee, who actually plays and is a coach. And we have Coach Jordan out of Tottenham Hotspur Football Foundation here. So it's a really good clique of talent and experience and opportunities that are here in St. Kitts for the next 2 weeks. And I think for me, the joy for me is watching these kids every day, the smiles on their faces, the stories that they come and tell me, or the coaches, and just learning the culture and trying to navigate some of these things. I got to listen keenly, because, even though I've come to St. Kitts for a lot of times, I still have to listen keenly to understand the dialect sometimes. But I get it. I'm getting it, slowly but surely. But I think, like I said to Inspector Bergen, and Coach G and I all agreed on this, the key outcomes for us for this camp is to ensure that, it meets its mission, which is about crime prevention, providing an alternative to these young people to crime and antisocial behavior. One, developing their skills, but also opening up the opportunity for, 1 or 2 of these younger players or older players to either get an opportunity to go off to colleges in the U.S. to study and play the sport they love, or to open up a professional situation. We're there at those 2. We just need to find the players for that, right? So we're hitting our outcomes, and that's the key for me, my involvement here.
Wonderful. I mean, as you speak about crime intervention, and as Officer Berger indicated, we here in St. Nevis, we have a situation where there has been an increase in the number of homicides, and so looking at this program, seeing that something is being done, you know, to stem that, especially from a young age, I think it's commendable. I think that the police force should continue the work that it's doing, complementing with, you know, the assistance of those like yourself. I think is really important, you know.
And what I did say to Inspector when we got on that conference call initially is, we need to look at a 5-year plan. Yeah. And he says, Beresford, you're absolutely right. So we put together a 5-year plan, and we've both agreed on it. And so it's now for Inspector and his team to just keep rolling it out. Coach G has some very valuable input into that 5-year program, and he will talk about that today, which I think will be very key, not only just in terms of the development of the sport, but also, again, getting kids away from crime and criminal activity and antisocial behavior. My colleague who's here with me, we do these programs. I live in Atlanta, but I work sometimes in London, and those are the things that we actually work on in an area called Haringey, which is one of the poorest boroughs in London, Tottenham. So, and we've seen the effects of that when you give them alternatives, whether it's sports, music, employability skills. Those are skills that you can transfer into the work world. You know what I'm saying? And that's the key thing.
And I like what you said. And I like that that you have the experience in these larger countries, because I often look at St. Kitts and Nevis as a small state. And I mean, we should be able to control or even curb the situation because we are a small, tiny federation.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, I understand that sort of mentality. But when you look at Tottenham in a small area, they can't even control it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's just one street. You know, so I understand and the challenges that are there. So this type of program, and that's why I was so keen to work on it with Inspector, because one of the things that I did say this, and I say it to him now, I don't know if he gets upset. Inspector, since I got here, Inspector has always been so calm, on the ball, just solution-based, you know what I'm saying? And I think those are the key things that you need to have when you're doing a program of this nature, one, and then you're dealing with the statistics around people dying. I just found out yesterday that 3 of the people who died between January and June were young basketball players who played at Basketball City.
Yeah.
So now we have to look at how could we marry soccer and basketball with the police to ensure that this whole crime intervention concept is rolled out to cover everybody.
Okay, I have just a basic nuts and bolts question. Have you reached your full complement of let's say participants? I remember you were telling me that you started off with, was it 214, and then
yes, Jamster, the camp has exceeded expectation in that we were catering for 125.
Wow, okay.
125 youths. When the Prime Minister heard about this program, I reached out to him and he called me back. I was surprised that he called me. Inspector Bergen, I heard about your program, I love it, and you cannot leave any child out. Make sure that you touch St. Kitts and Nevis. And that's one of the reasons why we are going across to Nevis tomorrow, to reach out, to engage, to partner with, because we want our youths to have a better pathway to life. And so this crime intervention program, it's built on, molding our youths into becoming productive, good men and women, citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis, so that when they go out, they represent St. Kitts, the ambassadors of St. Kitts and Nevis. They know how to handle themselves. We're not just dealing with soccer skills only. There are other facets of the camp, problem solving, decision making, time management, conflict resolution, all these things we're teaching these children, And so we are happy to partner with the Ministry of National Security, who have supported this program, the police force, and all the sponsors. We say a big thank you to them: Development Bank, Ross University, Flow, Sports Department, Ministry of Sports, Ministry of Education, Win FM, ZIZ, Ali, everybody, Ali, Koi Resort, where our coaches are staying, Royal St. Kitts. Everybody, when they heard about this program, they jumped on board and say, hey, we're with you 150%, and we want to support this program. And we are working towards continuity so that next year we have a better structure. These coaches are coming because they want a structure to come into St. Kitts and Nevis to do recruiting. And so we want everybody in St. Kitts and Nevis to buy into this program. It's not my program. The main thing about this program is the youths, our youths.
Okay. Yeah, I absolutely love the support and assistance that you have been given and others have been given to ensure that this program meets its maximum potential and success. Really love the fact that you guys could speak so highly of, even up to the Prime Minister and other places in terms of the COI and private sector, Ross University, giving a whole hands-on and approach and assistance. It really sounds good.
One quick thing. I imagine there might be people listening who might want to contribute, want to come in as, sponsors. You want to maybe give them some contact information.
Yes, please. And we're still looking. We have another week to go, and we want our corporate partners to come on board with us. For example, we have used up 100 cases of water in the first 4 days of this camp. 100 cases of water. So we have a need for water.
I could imagine because they're doing sports and the heat. Yes. Yeah, so that's really understandable.
We're out of water. Our highest numbers in the camp thus far is 155 youths. We have had so far. That was on Wednesday of this week. 155 youths. And we're expecting that it will grow into next week. So business partners, St. Kitts and Nevis, you're hearing about this camp. Let us do something for our youths here in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Wonderful. I want to extend the invitation, even after the program has ended, you say it's 2 weeks, perhaps to come back and give us a full analysis of what happened, because I'm intrigued to see, as you said, the numbers keep growing. And
absolutely.
We have another week, so I really want to see how the end result is, at least for that period.
And also, that's what I was just about to say. I especially want to hear from
now talk to in terms of how he thinks things are going.
And maybe some of the bright sparks you might have seen during the camp. So many people who might have potential for placement at.
Yes. You spoke, Coach G, before you go. You spoke about contact number. You can reach me at 664-6969. You can reach also Kenrick McNeil. His number is 762-1977. He's one of the coaches, and also the club secretary for the security forces. Her name is Patrice Lewis, and she can be reached at 663-5168.
Okay, and we're talking about, in case you're just joining us, we're talking about the Crime Intervention Summer Soccer Camp. Put on by Inspector Bergen and his football club, and we have Coach G and the other folks. Mr. McNeil, Coach McNeil, talk to us.
Coach G.
Coach G. But
no, this is
so just to recognize the presence of.
I thought
Dr. Isaac Newton.
Yeah, this is Dr. Isaac Newton.
Yes.
No, we're going to Coach G.
We're going to Coach G.
So Coach G, yes.
So yes, so just a little background relative to that, right? So my cousin is current U.S. national team defender Shaq Moore. He plays for Nashville SC in the MLS, played for Levante and Tenerife in the Spanish La Liga, played against Messi and Suarez and Iniesta and these guys a few years back while he was playing in La Liga, right? So I am also an associate manager within the agency that runs his stuff. So with regards to an ongoing process for the youths here, I have a lot of contacts and connections relative to them getting into the professional arena. Currently, so like as of this week when I arrived, we were looking for, we had a low-level opportunity in Latvia, Estonia, some of those Eastern European countries that's looking for players. It's an opportunity where we get players in to start, and once they get in and they do what they have to, in the following year we move them on to bigger and better things, right? Relative to the U.S. soccer landscape, we are very well connected with a bunch of universities, right? Coming down, I had a mandate from University of South Carolina Upstate and University of New Hampshire. A friend of mine was supposed to come to the camp. He's the assistant coach of University of South Carolina Upstate, but he had to withdraw because of camp commitments. So their season starts. So when I go back on the 29th, I also coach youth football. Literally 2 days later, I'm back in season. The college season, just the same, starts at that point. So this week, currently, he was running soccer camps. And then next week, they're starting the arrival of international players and the local players at his school. So he couldn't leave, or he couldn't get the time. Like, he would would have been available for 4 days.
Okay, I want you in a nutshell to say for maybe persons, possibly football candidates who are listening, who are intrigued by this program, and they might be thinking, boy, it would be nice to get a scholarship or nice to get on a team. In a nutshell, what kind of disposition are you looking for in a player? I mean, other than the physical, because, okay, the physical is there, but what kind of mental are you looking for?
So in our islands, again, as I said, I am from Trinidad and Tobago, so I know the landscape. In our islands, we are very athletic, right? It's the thing that I believe, besides Africa, no one can beat us with, right? So we are extremely athletic. But in terms of being organized tactically, we are never there, right? The type of players that I'm looking at is players with a good first touch, and I believe that football is a brain game. So players that are smart relative to playing the game. It's not just about speed and brawn, like, I see Beresford, I'm just going to run through him kind of thing, right? That's the other football, the American type, right? We've got to be smart, right? How do I get by him, right? Is there space in behind him? Is there space in behind him? Should I take him on? Is there no space in behind him? Does he have coverage? Should I pass, right? So those are the things that I'm looking at. I'm not looking for you. I'm not looking to see a player that can pick the ball up and literally dribble by 11 players. I see that and I'm like, all right, yeah, he's just a greedy player. Right? I want to see how you can play, how you can integrate within a team, because definitely the people I'm going to send your stuff to, that's what they're looking for. And if I show them, unless it's Messi, they're just going to be like, yeah, don't think he's going to work within the system, because once they start putting you through things that challenge you mentally, you're going to shut down.
Yep.
Yep. Right? And then it's a waste.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I have a question on the Facebook. Someone is asking, is there after school and camp for both boys and girls? I know you made mention that right now it's just at the Seventh-day Adventist and it's boys, and you're hoping to open it up for females?
Yes, we have females presently in our setup from the Seventh-day Adventist. Some of them have already gone on to high school and they still come around, but we're trying to structure it so that we have a full team of girls. We presently have about 9 of them in camp in our system presently, but we're trying to get the numbers up, so that we can say we have a female under 13 or a female under 15 girls team.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This is Dr. Newton right there.
Yes.
He's the guy I actually alluded to who got me connected. I think he's better able to explain how this whole, involvement of both myself, Coach G, and all the other coaches.
Of course, we love to hear from Dr. Newton.
He will be able to tell you.
Yes.
Welcome to your listening audience. I was listening to Coach G, and I used to recruit for the Ivy Leagues, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, and Columbia for a couple of years across the Caribbean. And in those settings, I know they were looking for not just academic acuity, intellectual brilliance, because just about everybody have high SATs and GREs and all these things. But they are also looking for those soft skills, creative imagination, your capacity to relate, your community involvement, those other issues. And I think that by virtue of transference, in a game, you're looking for strategic intelligence, right? Are you able to strategically understand the game, function within your team? Do you show up on time? Do you balance yourself well? Do you have good eating habits? Are you not going to put yourself and your team at risk by participating in drug behavior? Are you not going to embarrass your parents and your country by showing up on time, being committed to resilience, not giving up, not backing down in terms of the tough training that you're going to get? So it's about mental toughness, but it's also about character development and a sense of purpose, where you're going to go with this, and how are you going to utilize the systems and the structures in the United States, Canada, and the rest of the world to really make a name for yourself, but more importantly, to put your country on the map, and to have St. Kitts become St. Kitts and Nevis become a hub for coaches like G and others to come and recruit. And particularly because the police have been doing a remarkable job in terms of antisocial behavior, character development, life skills, etc. Coaches like G, etc., love the fact that you have a structured program and you're intervening in these kids' life at a young age. Psychologists tend to say 1 to 7. The Catholic Church say if you give me a student from 1 to 7, boys or girls, they'll be a Catholic for life. Yes. The Adventists say, I'm Seventh-day Adventist, higher than the human thoughts can reach a God's ideal for his children. Train up a child, right there. So what the police and the United Forces doing here in this country is a remarkable model. I think you will be able to transfer this crime intervention program right across the world, and it's an awesome platform and basis upon which to really be proactive in trusting young kids, the next generation, in the right direction. So I wanted to say that about that. You had asked me a question about how this all came together. So I'm at the Pathfinder Club in the KM Seventh-day Adventist Church, and I'm seeing some kids. A couple of them I'm mentoring. And so I work with Dr. Denzel Douglas as a consultant, as an advisor, and recently been assigned his executive director for his Doctors Global Lifestyle Foundation. So we are hunting and looking for the human impact. How does this foundation do 3 things? One, look at, because Dr. Douglas is a doctor, he has an incredible global reputation, how does it deal with cross-border diseases and create a platform, a framework for small island state to address these things? Secondly, how does the foundation really train the next generation and ensure that the next generation is best in class, first in class, to make a transformative difference in the world and to create space as global citizens? And finally, how do we address issues of wealth creation? Too many of our students are looking for jobs rather than creating wealth, and that's an important part of the foundation. So here am I with these kids, my friends, and I've seen them in the yard playing and enjoying themselves, and then suddenly some misbehavior, some grumbling, and one of the young men said, I'm going to tell the inspector. Did the inspector say that we have to de-escalate? What are you guys doing? I'm like, well, who is this inspector who is absolutely present and is absent? And then one of them was about to cross the road. By the church, the road is just a very dangerous stuff if you don't really meticulously look. And the other one said, you say you're going to tell the inspector and me, but you're crossing the road and you're being reckless. He did not tell you how to look to the right and look to the left. I said, my good God Almighty, who is this inspector that is controlling people's life while he's not even there? So I approached the kids and I said, tell me who's the inspector. And they brought their parents in, and parents talked to me about it and what they're doing, the after-school program, Wednesdays and Thursdays. And one of the young men was telling me they go up the hill, they go down the beach, they build resilience. I said, Jesus. When you hear the shout, now I rushed to I found my way the Monday right to the inspector's doorstep. He was at
court in Sandy Point.
In Sandy Point. And I said, Inspector, talk to me about who you are, what you do, and how can we help you? And when he explained the heavenly impact of his program, I said, okay, we need to do something. The problem that the police was having was that you took the kids across the bridge and then they fell off after high school. Yeah. But there was no career building opportunity or academic access so that they could continue to be incentivized to stay on the right pathway. And so you got to give children a whole landscape of opportunity. Yes, you want to deal with them and formulate their character, etc. But if it is that when they reach high school, there's nothing else to go, then that will disincentivize them. So we decided that we were going to just, talk to Dr. Douglas. He said, Doc, something like that. I'm going to unleash my network here in the corporate world and around the world. Go ahead, full speed ahead. I call up Mr. Beresford, and the rest is his story and her biography.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful news. And of course, thanks to Dr. Douglas, as you say, in terms of this foundation and the assistance that he has given you. And to everyone else.
Here's what we found. Once the inspector and I began going around the country, we found that there was extreme generosity, a gracious disposition, and a charitable enthusiasm by the corporate world and partners to participate. St. Kitts, as you know, unfortunately, have had the ugly reputation, indignified, I would say, of being, in terms of gun violence, per capita in the world. So we got to rebrand the brand. And when the BBC contacted us, the real question they asked was, why is it that such a small country could have such a high? Now, we know, as the police have explained, that it is very geographically contained. At the same time, the ripple effects, as Infector said to me, that the perception of crime, the fear of crime, thank you for the accurate quotation, the fear of crime is worse than the actual crime itself. And so when we went to the various hotels, etc., they were saying, listen, the medical school folks were saying, are we going to be okay here? Shall we send our kids here? We're going to be good. The folks in, what do you call that place that we went to, by which part the ships are?
Port Zante.
Port Zante, they were saying, is it going to spill over? Are we going to have folks coming out there? So people are really concerned. And the police is saying, listen, we are not just about protection and security, exacting justice when people have gone wrong or done something wrong. We're about giving people second chances. That's number 1A. But number 1B, we are fundamentally about prevention, entering into the social intestines of society, and literally shutting down the possibility or reducing the chances of our young people going away from the straight and narrow way. So, and then the Prime Minister himself, when we contacted him, the inspector, he said, listen, man, leave no child behind. This is important, not only because it's his ministry, but as a young next generation leader, he's passionate about ensuring that the next generation is poised for greatness. And then, of course, we had the young lady, the PS, Ms. Hall, who immediately operated and functioned with swiftness and speed and decisiveness and rallying resources. We had Minister Samuel coming to the table and saying, I'm traveling, but this is something I've got to do. We had the Marriott, we had Coy, we had Flo, Royal St. Kitts. My God, talk to us. Marshall, folks giving breakfast, rituals, folks giving lunch, folks giving dinner, water, Kitchen Hill. The folks from this young lady, talk to me. I don't want to call names and leave anybody out, but we want to thank the corporate society for rallying their energies and seeing the bigger picture. It was not just about, do we give resources? People have always asked us. It's about, what can we do to catapult St. Kitts and Nevis in the right direction? And we are excited that there is a collective spirit, a village mentality here, that we've got to do something to make sure our young people stay on the straight and narrow way. I want to thank the inspector. Inspector, you are a man of God, and I was so impressed to have met you. A man who is don't like the sunshine, don't like the cameras, but has chiseled confidence and a passionate love for young people. Imagine, Mr. Radio host, that he's not even there, and kids are using him as a paradigm to correct each other. That's deep and wide.
Yes. And I absolutely love the support that you guys have been given in this initiative. It's wonderful.
Can I just add something to? And I know we were on television at the other time, and I also did this. And
we got to do this briefly because we're almost out of. Well, we're pretty much out of time. So,
okay, cool. Yeah. So what I was saying is that for the corporate world, you know what? This is an absolutely great program. And if you haven't come on board, please, whatever you do, because getting a child at 6 to start playing soccer or whatever sport discipline, it means that you're preparing them for the work world or for life. And I think this is a great opportunity for whatever corporate partners there are out there. Even yourself as a lawyer can come on board and say, I will sponsor 10 cases of water this afternoon.
That's awesome.
I love the bit.
You see how justice came upon him right there. His eyes say he's going to do it. So we thank you very kindly in advance.
So I want to say thank you to all of you for being here, being a part of the program. It's absolutely wonderful news. It's really good, and I love the initiative. And I want to say, do come back, because we want to hear about how this has been done. You understand? We want to hear how this has been done,
especially from Coach G. I want to hear the performances and the potential that he saw.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Okay. We are currently working on something for one of the players out of the. So from St. Kitts, right? I'm currently brokering scholarship opportunity for him with a team in with a school in South Carolina, a junior college that we will, after a year there, we will transfer him to more than likely University of South Carolina upstate.
Okay,
right, which would be a Division I university. When he's done with this, he will come out of it with a 4-year bachelor's, right, which opens lots of possibilities to him.
Great. Okay, so it's a 9:39. We're going to be discussing the minimum wage next, but gotta say thank you to Inspector Bergen and his team, Coach G, Mr. Mack, and Dr. Newton. And like we said, we want you guys to come back.
Yes.
Thank you,
wonderful.
Okay. Thank you, Azard.
And best of luck in Nevis.
We take a short break here, man.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, so when we come back, there's going to be no fireproof today. So when we come back, we're going to be opening the phone lines. We want to hear your take on what the minimum wage should be in St. Kitts Nevis. We're going to discuss that topic when we come back. No fireproof today. Apologies. Got to give my apologies to the listeners for no fireproof being on today, but it will return next week. But we're going to be opening the phone lines next, 466-0989, 662-0989, and 762-0989. We'll be discussing the minimum wage, rate. Apparently, wage rate. Apparently, there's a difference, as CJ Warner broke down yesterday. So when we come back, we'll discuss that. What do you guys think the minimum wage should be?
Full of vitamin thing, real fruit juice, full of vitamin. Pop open the goodness, just dive in. Fruit every night, fruit every morning.
It's the amazing taste and quality in fruit juice you've come to know and love. Anytime, anywhere, any occasion. Fruta is your tastier, better, healthier choice.
We got the vibes, Fruta. Real nice, Fruta.
And for the families, remember to pick up the 1 liter.
Okay, now final remaining moments. No fireproof today. We're going to be discussing the minimum wage. What do you guys think the minimum wage should be? So we got about 17 minutes left. So we got to make it count. And there will be no Your View today with Sandra Quilly. No Your View at 10 o'clock with Sandra Quilly. So, yeah. So we are discussing the minimum wage. Once again, no fireproof today. Well, let's go straight to the phone lines. Caller, you're on the air. Go right ahead.
Greetings, forwardly, IT.
Hey, what's up?
Yes.
I got instrument that me want no friction. All right. Before we go to the minimum wage, we want to wish the summer camp all the best. And we want to say, we listen to the doctor, and as he talk about people, the fear of, when they go in places like down Port Dante, etc. And it reminds me of Jamaica. And Jamaica is not like that. Like people used to say, from you enter the airport in Jamaica, it's death, death, like you're liable to death. But Jamaica is not like that. Yeah. The killings that take place in Jamaica are not killings that you will find in America. And people just go up on the street and kill people randomly. These things are related. These things they're not in a vacuum, so to speak. So you can be in Jamaica and be in Kingston. We start to see tourists in Kingston, walking up and down, live all in the ghetto with people. So we don't want the situation with St. Kitts. We taking to that level there what the man talk about. Because nothing goes so. Saying, we want to tell the world this. Nothing goes so in St. Kitts and Nevis. The killing them that will take place is connected with whatever, not to you who will visit. In a business with you. Unless somebody will come rob you. And the places that you must stay, them kind of places, nobody will come rob nobody there. And even when you come down in Port Zante or walk in the street everywhere, just like those who come off a ship, you're good to go. So let go that. Okay. The next thing before we go on to the minimum, we want to ask the organizers, the police officer, why the name crime intervention? We don't understand that. We don't understand why the summer camp got that name. Please tell us in future, communication.
They're not here right now.
Pardon?
I was saying they're not here right now.
I know that, man.
Okay.
We are to the ground, we know. Yeah. In future communication, we say, because they're going to come again and they're in touch.
Well,
and we wish them all the best once again.
Well, at least they're upfront about what they want to come out of it, right?
Pardon?
I was saying at least they're upfront about what they want to come out of the camp.
Yeah, man, of course. Yeah, we like whatever they're thinking to do, just the name, crime intervention. We don't understand it, we don't understand it at all. But we wish them all the best in what they do, because the youths, them need guidance, and they need to have that settings, and me like the almost sound like wholesomeness of the program, which when they reach to a certain level, there is something in place to take them to that other level, etc. You understand? I will listen keenly, Anyhow, the minimum wage. They say we use the dollar tied to the U.S. So we have said the minimum wage, and in accordance with the cost of living, we have said of the way people work. I work not, you see, $9 hour. This thing is ridiculous. Me have sometimes some youth just come and me yard help me do things. Sometimes I cook it, and but them go and them, make them come and me yard, they buy me gate and that's it. They bring whatever road me have and no further. But there are people coming in my yard who we can't trust them with it. And me not pay me workers them no less than $10-15 an hour. Me do that. Mm-hmm. So we don't understand how them look upon people. Them people whose salaries up to thousands. No, we have done with this thing I know. Otherwise, you don't reach a point that people go, you see this killing when we just talked about a while ago, it will happen on the street if we not Lego this kind of system here now. The people who get thousands a month time. What them buy and what we buy is the same buying. And them look on we. Them look on we and say $9 hour. Yeah? This is insane. So tied to the US dollar, the least it would be right now is between 3 and 350 US. That's where the minimum wage could go. It's far from that right now. It's going even 2 US. It's not even 2 US right now. Them are thinking to carry to 500, and you're gonna need more. You're gonna need to step up on that 500 to reach the 2 US. So it's not there. So we say 3, 4, climb, because work is not a. Hey, when you see somebody get up and go to work, not play with that somebody, not play with that somebody there, Eh? No people now do that, No people now get up out of them bed and go work for people. If we take workers serious. Blessed love.
Thank you for
Blessed
your
love.
contribution.
Yeah. So we had a bunch of callers before, like the commercial break when they were taking pictures and so forth. So callers, if you're weighing, come on and weigh in and tell us what you think. Okay, here we go.
We have another call.
Yeah, here we go. Island T, you're on.
Yes, good morning, me again.
Hey.
Now, there are certain determinants of wages, If you have, let's look at the labor supply, which means the number of workers available and willing to work. If you have a large stock of unemployed labor, it has an effect on the minimum wage. Because those who want to work are going to offer their services at a price lower than the official minimum wage. And right now, there is a large stock of unemployed or underemployed people in our labor market. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Yes. The minimum wage is also tied to the cost of the consumer basket. The basket of goods that contain the minimum amount of goods in terms of food, the minimum amount of calories that a worker needs to maintain and sustain them. This information is gotten from the labor force survey. I forgot when we had the last one. It wasn't published, but we had one. So they have the survey and they collect, these are the goods that ordinary people buy on a regular basis. You price it and you set the minimum wages here. Now, we have a situation where we have imported inflation, which increases the cost of the goods before they even reach the shelf. Then the retailers and wholesalers, because we have a strange thing, where many of the retailers are also the wholesalers who get to mark up instead of one. Because there is an agreement with the chamber and the government that they mark up the goods, I think no more than 30%, 20 and 30. But when you have the wholesaler also being a retailer, he mark up the goods leaving the warehouse. So then they go to the supermarket, their own supermarket, and they get another markup. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Now that increases the price of the goods. So for people to get an increase, theoretically it should be tied to the rate of inflation. That is it. It should be tied because the rate of inflation gives you a movement in the price of all of the goods. Now there is a section in the consumer price index called all foods.
Okay.
That index shows the movement in the price of goods, because some of the other items in the index may not move, and it ends up pulling down the overall index. So I would suggest, and I think it is suggested, that the index, the rate of inflation on the all food items, should be used to adjust the wages. That would prevent you, if it is done automatically. Now, where you have unionized workers in some areas of the labor force, that is negotiated with every year, and some companies on their own do it. They adjust the wages upward, well, it can't be go downward, up the wages, up based on the rate of inflation. The rate of inflation, for those who don't know, is not just one change. There has to be a persistent upward change in the price. Now, we have a dilemma where if you make a change now, with what is happening right now in the international world, where Russia is saying, look, you want me to let your thing pass, they remove some sanctions. India, where we get rice from, say they're going to stop exporting. Now, I am asking the question, what is Guyana doing? We used to get rice from Guyana, you know. Guyana have large savannas where they could plant rice. But our people were complaining, but they don't like Guyana rice. Is there a source in CARICOM that we can source some of our goods? Because if you're able to source goods at a lower price, there may not be a need for an increase in salary. Now, people may not want to hear that. You understand what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're saying that.
But right now, the easiest thing to do would be to increase wages, the minimum wage, on an annual, not one time like we do around here, an annual basis that is tied.
I hear what you're saying in terms of the food production in different countries, but those would be for the basic food stuff.
What is the basic carrying the most price, carrying the most increase?
Because, you know, there are some persons who like the, for whatever reason, the cornflakes, or like these other things that, you know.
Cornflakes is really basic, you know, because I just can't.
Yes.
No, I mean...
I know.
They have, you know, even in the VAT-free thing, there are some goods that are VAT-free. They are the basic, you know, the white sugar flour we deal with, eh? Yes. White sugar flour, milk, butter, oil. You know, those. So we're looking at those there. Because you might be surprised, with all of this increase, the heaviest increase might be there. That's what we should be looking at. So you're saying, if this is the basket of the poor, that mark the poor, then you should move up the wages based on that. Now, a lot of us like luxury goods, right? You want the nails and the wigs and the this and the that. You don't have to consider the price, change price in that. Those are things what we call consumable, disposable. You look at the basic, it is the people who have to face the basic basket of goods. The rice, the sugar, the flour, the peas. That's what we're looking at.
And because you can do it without that expensive wig. I mean, God gave you hair.
Yeah, you know, you can.
You could do it without the wig. And the
you could do it without the wig.
Yeah.
And all them nails are putting on.
I always wanted to say
that's a waste. I mean, serious. Our people got to understand. So and then, as I said, the availability or the demand for labor. How many companies are looking for people to work? How does that affect the thing, you know? You ever see any sign out lately about workers needed?
True.
Unless that happens, it don't even make any sense. Because I have observed over time, if the government said they're going to increase the rate by 10%, before people even get it, the merchants carry up the price to eliminate it. And some of them go further and reduce the number of hours work.
But, Ms. Henry, let me ask you a question, though. We heard about, you know, India deciding to keep their
the export of
the basmati rice. Now, How do futures work in the sense that there are other places we can get rice from, Indonesia, or a lot of places in
I
Asia.
learned this at the
So
IMF.
the prices will still
Futures really is the price before the things are planted.
Okay.
Let me say it again.
Mm-hmm.
When they're buying commodity futures, they're saying, well, take now, rice is a kind of problem. So therefore, before the next rice crop is planted, this is what we're offering for a pound of rice, 100 pounds of rice from the suppliers.
But what I'm saying is, are there enough alternative suppliers to maybe even minimize the rice?
If you got less suppliers of the product, automatically the price go up. So because there's going to be more demand for it.
Yeah, and less of that supply, some persons are going to increase the price.
Because the demand is more than the supply,
Yeah.
the simple economics.
The simple, yes, that I know.
Yeah, so I was surprised to find that the futures market is really pricing the commodity before it is even planted. I used to think it when it reaches the market now.
So it's kind of a kind of exploitative system then.
Well,
And
actually they manipulate the system,
maybe bordering on
Because,
extortion.
for example, we could have good rain in some areas where they might have overpriced the product. So the people reap a crop, So, but we need to do something, and we need to know what exactly, not quite exactly, what is the price of the food basket. Because until you know that, then you don't know what people need to eat the basic. It used to be $29.80, I think it was something like that.
Yes.
That's a long time. What is it now?
True. I also think the food basket should also be filtered through a balanced diet.
It does, it has
it
the
does?
number of calories. I think it's 2,400 calories.
No, but aside from the calories, I mean, in terms of a balanced diet, where
Yeah.
you can't tell people that rice is a basic food item, but not say or even cheddar, but not some
bread
other
food and stuff. That's the same the calories.
Because my thing is cheese, for example. So you're gonna say cheddar is basic, but not say Gouda or whatever. My thing is cheese. And
yeah, but
and,
cheese,
and,
all quality, then the quality is not the same. Remember, the quality differentiate from the quantity.
yeah, but what I'm saying is where certain cheeses might be seen as premium and gourmet here, but in the countries where they come from, it's just cheese. So that's why I'm saying cheese is cheese.
I know. But when we import it, it don't come so. And again, substitute. We have got to learn to substitute too, That is one way of reducing the cost of the basket. And the availability. The availability of the product itself and our taste. You see our taste? Our taste has a large impact on the food basket. In fact, there are certain things we eat and certain things we don't eat. When you go to Jamaica, you like talking some story, you don't know where you get it from. All the morning, you get dumpling and green banana. I end up Azard, the first time I nearly get a heart attack.
Say that again?
Yeah.
For breakfast in the canteen on campus.
Yeah, I love that.
Dumpling and green banana and mackerel.
I actually love that, because I think that those with the I don't eat
complex
dumpling.
carbohydrates are probably better.
Slow
Yeah, but we're not accustomed to that.
I love
I said, well,
the green
when we
banana and
finish, we're
everything.
supposed to go mountain.
Yeah, I love that. I actually used to
probably
save
better,
two,
yeah.
one for breakfast, one for lunch, because by the time it's lunchtime, it's just rice and peas.
Yeah, but I said to myself first, I said, well, wait. When the morning you get fat there, when you finish eating heavy in the morning,
you
can stay awake, but I'm talking about taste. Now, in Jamaica,
yes,
the basket is cheaper,
yeah.
Because get a hand of banana, you set up. Here you be one banana, macaroni and pie, pie, rice and that.
I realize
the same.
we love our pies. It's not the same extent
No,
over
you can't.
there.
You can't beat Barbados, my daughter, they say.
Yeah, the
macaroni
pie.
Barbados
Yes.
national dish.
Yes, they're putting all kind of things in that.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, but what I'm saying, right? Sometimes we have to change our taste. I myself, I'm diabetic now. I was accustomed to bake. I love baking, man. Jamster.
Yes.
Bake vegetable casserole. You know, we put on the cheese on it. You know, all kind of pie, but everything going in the oven. Now, I am here eating, salt water, potato.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
I eat it for my health. That don't mean I enjoy it. You know? So the taste got a lot to do with the cost.
Yes,
and
that's
if you
true.
find yourself having luxury taste and your income is getting smaller, change your taste, modify it.
I
But
like.
for the employers, they have the upper hand. We have no union. I don't understand this. That's a shutdown. Saying Candisie Trade and Labor Union, they're useless, you know. And
Okay.
they are still involved in all the negotiation for the wages. We're the members.
Yep.
You see, in Barbados, every minute, everything have a union. Car got union, banks got union, tourists. I mean, everything. And the outside of the door. So we have nobody to negotiate for us. So the government is in a spot. Because if the government push too hard, the private sector going to push back. Next 5 years, they can't get no donation, no campaign financing.
Mr. you're forgetting that Kitchens came from a different solar system.
A different what?
A different solar system. That's what I say.
I don't know about the story there.
I said that's
I
what
don't
I
buy
say.
everything that my good friend be saying.
That's what I
the
say.
Eater and the 6 eater now.
That's what I'm saying because of
Foolishness.
because of the foolishness that we allow successive governments to do to us.
You know, I tired campaign for finance campaign. Oh yes, we're gonna do it. Now the examples. Nobody know even know. You see when you hear an investor coming, all I just say, well, the person come for the money. They come for the money. So when they say they want 300 acres of land, you say, well, buy them, they give them some millions. And nobody's innocent. That's the funny thing, you know. No party could call on nobody party. Everybody.
Exactly.
Azard, you hear that? You're the chairman?
They're all a waste of time.
No, they're not.
No, but the government is in a spot.
Present company included.
Take that back, John.
The government is in a spot. and my good family, my family, Freeman. Look, I live in Jamaica for 2 years. You hear me? There's some places in Jamaica you can't go. They're killing themselves. And they always warn the tourists, no go so and so, even on campus. So Jamaica is not like what you talk about. Jamaica has nice places. I was a member of a church down Walton Park Road. Everybody in there from some ghetto tenement, this and every story, every testimony got a gunman in it. I mean, it's serious.
Wow.
You know, it is so sad that poor people will have poor people so. Who they gonna blame? Anyway, so I don't, what am I saying? I don't even expect any salary increase right now.
Okay, well.
If
But,
they do,
okay,
it
so
coming
before
from
you
the
go,
government.
because we're over time.
Listen to me carefully. If you hear they're going to give anything, it is going to cost the government. It is going to cost our CBI money for the private sector to give a salary increase. If it don't happen, tell me. I am willing to apologize.
Okay.
All right then.
Okay, and with that, we head into our weekends.
Yeah, and I want to wish everyone a wonderful weekend. Hopefully the weekend is set up in a way that you enjoy it to the fullest, you know. Have a wonderful weekend, and I want to thank you for being with us here this morning on Island Tea. Have a wonderful rest of the day as well, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. See you on Monday.
And we're back Monday fresh.
And ready to go yet again.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. Folks, that's it for Island Tea. Have a great weekend.
Yes.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
kids drink healthy.